So we're there in both places to make sure we're good. I can't even check my, usually I check my phone to make sure.
We are too.
Put your volume down, all the way down.
There in both places.
There we go.
As I am doing that too. I always forget to do that. All right. I think we are live on Facebook in 3 places: my personal page, my Facebook group, and my business page. And I'm getting another phone call coming in. Sorry. And we are live on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. How are you? I'm Chandra Brooks. I don't see you though right now.
I don't know.
Oh, let me see.
What is going on? I requested it.
Oh, okay. Go live with. Okay, it was on me. My bad.
Okay.
I had it wrong. Okay. All right, Facebook, give us some patience. We are on Instagram trying to go live together. So we're in 2 places. I know the volume. Is it all the way down?
Yes.
I still hear it. Maybe I hear it on mine. Probably. It's not. I could hear. Can you hear?
No.
I can hear the echo, Brandy.
I have the volume all the way down. I don't know. Maybe it's the proximity.
I've done this before. And as long as we have the volume down, we should be good.
Let me see if I move it away a little farther. Sorry, y'all.
But I can hear it on here, and I shouldn't be hearing it on my phone. So I don't know. Hi, son. I see my son watching. Hi, son. Okay. Well, I'm just going to go. I'm going to hear the little in the background, but it's okay because I want everybody on Instagram to hear the story and everybody on Facebook to hear this great story about you. Hopefully, it's not too bad. Do you hear the feedback?
I hear it now. Yeah.
Oh, this is killing me right now. I told you, always something with technology. Even when I want to do this right and prepare, we were on here early, setting everything up, everybody. But anyway, I'm Chandra Brooks, founder of the Powerhouse Academy, Powerhouse Women, the School of Social Entrepreneurship, all those wonderful things. And I'm here today with my client, Brandy Morgan. Brandy is my one-on-one client. We've been working together only 2 months so far. And in just a short amount of time, Brandy has hit some amazing goals and exceeded in probably what she thought was going to happen in this short amount of time. And I wanted to share it because what got her here was more getting clarity in her business and confidence in herself to get these opportunities that came to her. Right? I didn't give her these opportunities. I didn't hand her these opportunities. These opportunities came for her because her confidence was developed and built because of the work that she's been doing through coaching. All right. So, Brandy, why don't let's talk about how we initially first met, because we were talking about that before we went live. Yeah. Share with the audience how we initially met.
So I met Chandra back in, I want to say 2012 through a mutual friend named Kelly, who was working through Job Corps. She knew that I really wanted to be involved with the NAACP. And at that point in time, Chandra was the vice president for the Santa Clara County chapter of NAACP. So that is how we met. I actually was interviewed by Chandra at a local Starbucks, and she took me on as her intern.
And then what happened after that?
So a few years after that, I was dating somebody I probably shouldn't have been dating. I didn't know him very well. And I ended up being involved in a felony identity theft charge that I, never would have thought would have happened in my life. It wasn't something that I was aware of or that I participated in. And I reached out to Chandra because I knew that she had a lot of community connections and said, is there any way that the NAACP can help me, with this scenario? And she ended up introducing me to the Minority Business Consortium, or more so Walter Wilson and Reginald Sweely. And if you guys are familiar with advocacy in Santa Clara County, you know these two gentlemen.
Yes.
They
Yes.
are definitely fixtures in the community. And since then, my life has changed dramatically.
Yeah, it's amazing the people that you get in your corner and the people you meet. I always teach about that, the power influence and your connections and who you're connected to. Can you guys tell us, is that feedback sound crazy? If it does to you, I'm going to turn off Instagram and just go 100% on Facebook, because the sound is, it annoys me. So let me know if you're watching, if you hear it, if it's kind of bothering you. It might be even worse on your end, because I really want y'all to hear this story. I want people to be able to pay attention. I don't want that sound to make you want to come off the live. So if you could let me know, just give me a little feedback and let us know if this sound is really bad and the feedback is really bad. How does it sound on your end, Brandy? Is it back and forth? Is it pretty loud?
It's pretty annoying.
Okay. All right. Maybe me and you will do something live on Instagram separately. Okay.
All right.
We'll do that later. We'll do something live separately. Yeah, the audio. Okay, son. We're gonna come back on here. Thank you, son. Appreciate it. Yeah, the echo. I don't know why, but I'm gonna come back on here. We're gonna just do this on Facebook. Love you, son. I know you're on Facebook. I appreciate you coming on and watch your mama. I love you. Bye. All right. So we're gonna end that, and we're gonna just do it strictly here on Facebook. So anyway, so I introduced you to Reginald and Walter. Change your life. Yeah, once they enter your life is changed.
Yes.
Take over
Even if
your
you
life.
don't want it to be, it is.
Right, exactly. Even if you don't want it to be, they do. But they have good intentions and a good heart, right? At the end of the day, they are great mentors of mine, and they've helped me so much and encouraged me so much and opened so many doors for me time and time again. So I really appreciate them. So you met Reginald and they helped you with this case, right? That you had this felony case that came about.
They didn't just help me. They definitely, they took me under their wing. They showed up to court dates with me. They spoke to my lawyer. They spoke to the DA. They saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. And they gave me an opportunity and they hired me. And I grew so much from that opportunity as far as learning how to network, how to represent myself as, somebody for the organization. Walter's schedule is busy. And sometimes he overbooks himself. So I had to learn to step in and attend certain meetings or community events as a representative of the organization, so that I can obtain that information for Walter and Reginald and share it back with them. And it really helped me build my skills and my confidence as well. I would be that fly on the wall in the back of the room that didn't talk to anybody and just took very thorough notes and left before anybody had a chance to confront me. And, working with them really taught me that my voice had power and that it meant something and that my opinions matter, especially when it came to, community advocacy and community outreach. And that's really where I got my foot in the door with learning how to network.
Well, you've seen the power through them, right? And I think that's something I learned from them also. You've seen the power of having connections and the power of, I always, talk about the intimidation, and not in a bad way. I always say that if I can deal with Walter Wilson, I can deal with anybody.
Amen.
If I can deal with a Walter Wilson, I can deal with anybody. And he's really not on Facebook, so he might not even watch this and be able to see this. But if you know a Walter Wilson and you watch this, you know what I'm talking about. But if he really thickens your skin and you learn. But at the end of the day, his heart is in it 100%. He really cares about people, and he cares about people he takes under his wing. He don't just take everybody under his wing. He meant that he mentors. So I just had to change our settings because it put us live, but it was locked that only I could see it on my page. So yeah, so we got to gain some traction in here. If you watch this, if you come live, please share it, because Facebook automatically locked me to only show to myself, but I just fixed it So hopefully we'll get some more viewers on here, and it don't go back to being locked, because I can't even share it. It's just, yeah, Facebook does its own thing. But we'll work through it and we'll share it later. We'll share it on your page as well.
Yes.
But share it, please. If you come on here live, share it with your audience too. But what I wanted to do, the back end of our relationship and where that started, which was in 2012 with Brandy, and how we met. Me being the vice president of NAACP, me working at Job Corps, being in advocacy, right, and being a leader in the community already, and then you coming in and me opening doors to the people that I knew. The power of the connections and who you know is like huge, right, in that case. So she's followed me since then, right, in my elevation from working in the community to going to full-time entrepreneurship. And we've stayed connected on social media. You've had your situations in your life that you had to deal with. You like you said, you've dealt with domestic violence. You've dealt with a felony case. You dealt with homelessness.
Yes.
So many things that have happened in your life that have brought you to this moment, right? And sometimes we feel like, God, like, what are you putting me through? Why are you putting me through all this? But everything happens for a reason and its own time, right?
Yes.
And its own time. So let's fast forward a little bit to pandemic, I think, is when you decided, okay, I want to work with Chandra. I want to get coached. And you were, you wanted to join one of my programs, right? I think it was like my boot camp or something.
Yes.
Right.
I did join the boot camp. It was
Yes.
a 5-day boot camp, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Met some amazing individuals that I'm still connected to. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
But what's so funny is I believe that boot camp was either free or it was extremely underpriced. And
it was $500, and I don't know if I gifted you a spot.
You might have.
I might have. I think so. I think it was $500, and I may have gifted it to you.
Mm-hmm. But from there, the more that I saw what you did, the more I wanted to work with you. And the funny thing, and I know you've brought this up before, is that at that point in time, like you said, it was $500 and I couldn't even afford that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's funny how things kind of did a whole 180, and now I'm here with you working
exactly
capacity, and things have just been moving forward ever since you kind of lent me your confidence. Because
it's crazy. So she did the boot camp, and in that boot camp, she was working on your Lotus coaching program,
yes.
right? Your Lotus coaching. Did you already have some certifications in life coaching? And
I did
already. You had a few certifications, and you wanted to build that. So she went through the boot camp and started working on that. But I think just the 5-day boot camp wasn't enough to move forward and really launch it. So you kind of fell off, or kind of talk about after you did that work, trying to focus on the business, or even get you didn't have enough clarity yet. What was the problem with really getting that off the ground?
So I was all over the place with Lotus coaching. I think in all honesty, I only had like 2 paying clients in the whole year that Lotus coaching was open and an actual LLC.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know if I wanted to be an empowerment coach, or if I was an advocacy coach, or if I was a spiritual coach. Like, I didn't know what I was. I just knew that I wanted to be something. Wanted to be a coach, and that was it. And it was very confusing because, one, like you said, I didn't have a coach. I was trying to coach myself while trying to learn how to be a coach. And it just doesn't work like that.
Right.
I lacked in confidence. I wasn't willing to share my story, which is a major part of why we are where we are now. I know we're going to get into that a little bit later, but it was really just not knowing, not having that direction, not having the support, and just kind of being everywhere in my own head that made Lotus coaching not be successful the way I had wanted it to be.
Yeah, so you did that. You tried to get Lotus coaching off the ground. Like you said, it didn't work because you were all over the place and didn't have the support to really get it up and going and moving, and the clarity you needed to know exactly who you were going to serve, how you're going to price it, how you're going to market, tell your story. And let's get into that because that's huge when you coach with me. It's really sharing your story. And if you guys don't know, I share my story. I talk about, if you've been following me for a long time, you know my journey and you know what I've been going through, you know what I've dealt with, you know the good, the bad, the ugly, and what it took to get here. And sharing my story is important. I share a lot, and in my journey, right, and my successes and everything that got me here. So it's so important to get people to trust you and get people to know, wow, she's a real person. She goes through life situations just like me, right? Or, wow, she did that. I can do it too. And that's my whole purpose. When I share my story, it's like, I'm a regular girl from East San Jose. I've done this, I've done that. I barely graduated high school. I didn't even want to go to college. I went to college because I felt like I had to have a degree. Like these things that, people think like you have to have all these things in place and you have to be perfect to show up online and share your story. There's people that need you and that can connect with you. So part of my coaching is really sharing your story, right? And getting you to do that. You have to be forced, right? I have to force you. So the coaching is necessary for accountability to share your story, because if you don't share your story, nobody's going to connect with you, know, like, and trust you to even buy something from you later on, right? So talk about sharing your story and how that has really kind of elevated you and what you're doing.
I think so far the biggest thing for me has been authenticity. I wasn't sharing my story in the beginning. I wasn't being authentically me. And you helped me recognize the value in my previous experiences. I always told myself that I wanted to be a coach because when I went through these life experiences, I needed support. I needed somebody and I didn't have anybody. So I had to put my big girl panties on, strap up my boots, and do the research, do the work, and do it for myself to get not only me, but my children out of the situations that I had potentially gotten us in. Right. So working with you in the beginning was really about building my confidence. And as I had mentioned before, you lending me your confidence, you reminding me, excuse my language, that I am a badass, that hey, I have lived through this. I have experienced this. I have came out on the other end and, pushed myself farther than I ever imagined. These situations can very easily break you. Make you feel worthless, and you can be stuck in these situations for a very long time. So realizing that and realizing that that wasn't what I wanted is what kind of gave me the kick in the butt that I needed. Even after that, though, I still didn't have what I needed to be successful in business. I didn't know how to share my story. And then I was concerned about the judgment that could come my way for sharing my story. But then I had to be reminded by you and just remind myself as well that, there are other people that are having very similar experiences that don't know how to step out and get that help. And that was the whole reason why I wanted to be a coach. So why am I scared to share my story? This is what makes me me. This is why people are going to want to work with me. So I really had to remind myself, kind of turn that into an affirmation and just tell myself every day, hey, you add value. You have something to offer. And now we're here.
Yeah. And I think that's what everybody's scared of, right? And going through our coaching, when I would say, okay, well, you're going to go live and you're going to talk about your homeless experience. You're going to talk about this, you're going to talk about that. And Brandy's looking like a deer in headlights, like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, and you're going to do this before we meet next Tuesday. You got to have this done. So get it together. I'm giving you just a template on what you need to do. I'm going to coach you through it. And it's going to be okay. I promise you will still be breathing and alive when you're done. And you were, right? You're still alive after it was finished. After you did those lives, you're still breathing and you're good to go, right?
Yes.
Yes, you were
I was
fine.
sweating and nerve-wracked the whole time I was doing it. I don't, if I probably went back to that first video and
I
counted,
know, right?
I probably said 100 in
Still
between
do
everything
it.
that I
Okay.
was trying to explain.
Yeah, yeah. It's all good. I still do it to this day. But the important the thing is the accountability, right? The accountability to do it, right? To get out there and do it. And also what you said about the confidence. So what I have Brandy do is write down all your certifications, Brandy, for me, right? Show me your bio. Give me your bio. Write down all the certifications and trainings that you've been through. And the list was like super long, okay, you guys? It was like crazy long. And she has all these certifications in life coaching, in sickle cell, like in everything that you could think of. This girl's qualified. Okay, she's done consulting, she's done all this. We tend to forget how amazing we are, right, for ourselves. Right, we have to remind ourselves. When sometimes I have to read all my awards, my bio, and be like, damn, I've done some shit. Okay, i'm I'm the shit. All right. I'm good. Like I have to remind myself every once in a while. But I also have to have my own coaches do that. And I remember when I was being coached initially to start Powerhouse, my coach was looking at my resume and all my awards and everything I've done. And she's like, Chandra, you're a powerhouse. Teach other women how to be a powerhouse. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Let me do that. And, the power of coaching, like if I didn't have that coaching to Powerhouse, look where Powerhouse has done, like with thousands of women around the world to be coached and to learn how to step into your power, whether it's in business or in the community, and take it to a whole nother level, right? If I didn't move on that, and if I didn't invest in coaching, if I didn't follow her direction, you wouldn't be here. All my clients that have successes that are multi six figures on boards and commissions, running for office, they're doing things, they're speaking on stages. None of this would have happened if I didn't move forward, right? So that was my duty. I had to answer my calling, right? So then you could be here and everybody else could be here. So this is what I tell people all the time. When you don't step into what you're supposed to be doing in this world, you're doing a disservice to so many people that are waiting for you. So many people that are waiting for you and that need you. So having Brandy look at all this and say, Brandy, you're a badass. Okay, get your ass out there. We're going to redo your bio. We redid her bio for her, and she read it and was like, damn, that's me. Yeah, that's you, girl. We ain't lying about that. Okay, we're not lying. That's you. That's all you. And that boosts her confidence. And then going live, forcing her to go live, post about her story, and getting messages in the comments and in Messenger about how her story is inspiring other people, right? That is a whole nother level of confidence. Like, wow, I didn't realize that if I just shared my story a little bit, it's going to inspire other people that might have been through it too, and it's going to encourage them. And that gives you another extra boost of encouragement. So then from there, she started making connections. I tell her, okay, do this, do that. She go out there, and then your book launched, right? Show your book, show everybody your book. She wrote. Tell us about your book.
This is Soulful Self-Care. It's a journey of healing through journaling. So what I did is took all the tips and tools that I used on my own healing journey, all the inner work that I did. And I've always loved journals. I mean, my mom probably has journals in the storage from when I was like 8, 9 years old. She reminds me of this.
Right.
So, through my experience of journaling, I said, I've seen guided journals, but they're very specific about the questions you have to answer. You are literally following their template. So I said to myself, what if I create something where I give them information, but allow them the space to be creative in their own way? Because we all feel and learn differently. So I have provided tips and tricks on meditation, intention setting, ritual bath soaks, how to create your own ritual bath soaks, what statements you can use as intention setting statements. I share a guided meditation on self-love, and then I leave space for you to create your own. I've got cutouts for you to create your own manifestation board. So every single thing in my journal is something that I have used personally and that has worked for me on my journey. And I'm here, you guys. I'm here with Chandra. I couldn't work with her at 500. Now I paid over 5 figures to work with her.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, we didn't get there yet, but yeah, that's what she did. She couldn't afford the 500. Now she's at my highest offer. Okay. My highest offer opportunity. And when she came to me, she's like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want the top notch. I want like VIP access. I want everything. Right. Give me it all. And in the short 2 months, and I know you put this under my post the other day, right, about the investment.
yes.
Would you say it's been worth it so far?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As nerve-wracking as it was to make that type of large investment, I mean, that's the second largest investment that I've made since purchasing my home. It was even larger than purchasing my vehicle. So it was nerve-wracking. And I'm not going to say that I needed to convince myself, but I definitely had to sit down. I talked to my financial advisor. I got, all my questions asked. I put them out there to Chandra, even if I thought they were ridiculous questions. I was like, if I'm feeling any type of way about this, let me ask these questions and get the clarity. And watching Chandra from who she was in 2012 when we met to who she is now, I knew I wanted to work with her. I knew that she had what I needed to get me to that next level. And it's working.
Yeah.
it's
already working, and it's been such a short amount of time. And this is what I try to tell people. It's deeper than that, right? It's not just Chandra's going to give me the strategy to implement and give me all her tools. Really, we don't even do that. Really, we haven't even got that deep. We a little bit, right? A little bit. But this was the work that we've done so far has been more about clarity in your services and your pricing and your offers and what you're really good at. Figuring that out, right? Figuring out what kind of coach you're going to be and what kind of services you're going to provide and refining that and everything and getting you confident and believing in it, right? And then the confidence in yourself, right? Those things we've been working on the last couple of months. This is what's gotten her a magazine offer to be featured in a magazine, right? Podcast interviews, offers to host and do book signings at their locations, offers to partner on blood drives in the community, establishing herself as a sickle cell advocate in her new city that she's moving in. I'm telling you, if you're in a small city or if you're moving to a new city, or a small city, I can help you skyrocket your whole influence very, very quickly. It's faster. Like in a San Jose, San Francisco, like big city, it's harder to do. It's possible, but when you're in a smaller city, it's definitely something that you can do pretty quickly with some strategy, getting on boards and commissions, connecting to influencers and people that can open other doors for you, right? It's like a recipe. So it's a strategy to do that. But since then, right, you've met some amazing people. And the magazine, I keep getting text messages from her through. She's like, "Oh, I got this opportunity. I got this," and she's like, I needed to wait till the morning to let you know because I wanted to text you at 11 o'clock at night. But like all the wins keep coming up. Like, tell me how you feel about all these wins and what kind of eye opener is this about? Like, if I just do the work. And I just do what she tells me to do. And people say this, I tell you, just do what I tell you to do. I promise it's going to work. But if you don't do it, it ain't going to happen. But if you do the work, it's going to work. So talk about that a little bit.
So I want to take a step back for just 1 second and go back to those certifications you had me write down. Because, I knew I had a lot of them. I didn't know how many. And I remember I was so excited to text you and I was like, oh my God, Chandra, I have 24 certifications. I knew I had a lot, but I didn't realize I had that many. And that's on top of my associate's degree in sociology and my bachelor's degree in psychology. So that helped boost my confidence too. Just you reminding me of the stuff that I had already done.
And reminding you don't have to go get some more.
Right.
Because, right? Obviously, you are a certification queen, right? So any certification comes, you're going to go do it. And I got to remind you, okay, let's stop. You got enough. You're good. You're a qualified girl. You're overqualified. And this is a lot of women do or people do. They think, let me get that one more certification and then I can go start this. So go ahead. Sorry about that.
So this is where the confidence comes in, where her having me do these things really made the difference. So we were talking about different boards and, types of networking that I can do. And it sounds more difficult than it really is when people are looking from the outside and you're not familiar with what networking, really looks like. Yeah. So I was invited to a community event out here in Gulfport, Mississippi. And all I did was I saw a booth. It was a CBD, cannabis booth. And I was like, let me see what kind of goodies are in there. Because if you follow me and you know that I am an advocate for cannabis, for, medicinal use. I have seen it firsthand work for individuals that have seizures and cancer, but we'll go into that another time. So I went into this booth to look at the stuff that she had, and the lady's name is Natalie. She is a godsend. She's absolutely amazing. Very warm, very welcoming, very friendly. We got to talking about her products, and I simply said, I recently moved to the area and I'm about to publish my first self-care journal. And she's like, oh, well, I own a shop in Biloxi and we've hosted, book signings there. Do you have a book signing plan? I said, no, I didn't even think of that. She was like, well, let's get together. So I waited a few days before I ended up emailing her, and, instantly she responded. She was super excited that I reached out to her. She invited me to meet her in her store so I could check out the facility. And one thing led to another. Not only do I have a book signing through her, but she introduced me to an amazing group of movers and shakers in Gulfport. I'm talking about these women are empowered. They make differences out here. So it's called the Mississippi Gulf Coast Women Who Brunch. And we actually go to brunch. We network. We have a keynote speaker. Through attending that event, I was able to speak to the keynote speaker at the end of the event. And just so happens she has a podcast that introduces new authors and what they've published to kind of help increase those sales and get the word out. And I had brought a copy of my journal with me to the brunch just to show Natalie so we can figure out what we're going to do for the book signing. And as I was being introduced to people, the journal was being passed around. It finally made it to the keynote speaker, and she said, write your contact information in here for me. I'll be calling you in the next week or so. I want to get you on my podcast as soon as possible. Well, that was one thing. And the next thing I know, I'm going to a random, gun safety training class with my man, and the lady that's hosting the event, well, she owns an educational outreach center. And turns out she knows Natalie. She knows a lot of women from the Mississippi Gulf Coast Women Who Brunch. She knows the keynote speaker, tells me, hey, if you're, trying to do something big, you're definitely in the right circle. So just being myself, sharing my experience like you told me to, and just being authentic has gotten my foot into so many doors in such a short amount of time. So after meeting her, now she wants to offer me a new business shower, similar to a baby shower, where she, sends out invites, lets people know, hey, we have a new business in our area. These are the things that she needs to be successful. Let's help her out. So that's another networking event. That led to me now being invited to possibly be a speaker on
I forgot about that one.
Self-care in the sickle cell community.
At a conference, right? At an upcoming conference?
Yes, the caregivers conference. And they are asking, for me to speak on the topic of self-care in the realm of sickle cell. Because in 2014, I became a California State certified sickle cell educator through the public health department in Richmond. That happened because my best friend of 19 years passed from a sickle cell crisis in his sleep. And I wanted to make sure that I learned as much as I could about sickle cell and shared that information so that I can help, just one person. If I can help one person not lose a family member and feel the loss that I felt, then it would be all worth, the education and the training and the stress that I went through. And it's, embedded me into the sickle cell community. So we have an issue out here in Louisiana, and I've been reached out to from other advocates in, Nevada and California, and asked to support the family as an advocate, and help deal, with the issues that they're going through in the school. So when Chandra says do something, let me just tell you to do it, because she has a reason. And if I didn't step out of my comfort zone and really put myself out there, put my story out there, I don't think I would even have half of the opportunities that have been presented to me.
Yeah, we have to take those steps out. And like I said, that's why I really wanted to focus on clarity and confidence, because I didn't give you those opportunities. Your confidence did, right? By you putting yourself out there and talking to these people and having clarity on what you have to offer and feeling good about what you do and knowing what you do and being able to explain it in a clear form, in a clear way to people, so it's not all over the place, makes a world of a difference for people to open doors for you, right? To be prepared, right? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly. We were talking about that this morning.
Yeah, that's what we try to do, is to stay ready, because you never know when somebody's going to knock on your door and say, I want to feature in this magazine. I want you to come speak at this conference. Now you have a bio. We're about to do your photo shoot, right? The website for the coaching is almost done. Morgan Legacy Group. You can go to morganlegacygroup.com. Right?
It's themorganlegacygroup.com.
themorganlegacygroup.com, and you can get her book, her journal. You can reach out to her and find out more about what she does. But having the clarity and doing the work, she's working with me for a full year, right? So this is only 2 months. Right. Has it even been a total 2 months? I don't even know if it's even a total of 2 months, but it's only been 2 months. All right. And all these things have accomplished. She's going to work with me for a whole year. All right. So you can imagine what's going to happen by this time next year on where she's going to be. Right. At my highest level program, we give her everything. I'm telling you, my contracts, my templates. She's getting everything under me, right, that I've created over the years, that I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on to build this business. We're able to give this to her because she invested at a high level this time, and took the leap. I'm telling you, it's not easy, right? Like, it's not easy to make an investment like that in coaching, and you're like, it's not guaranteed in your head, or you don't have, like, I can't guarantee. All I can guarantee, because I do make a guarantee to my clients, if you do what I tell you to do, it's going to work. But if you don't, it definitely is not going to work. That's my guarantee, right? But you still don't know. I could say that all day long, but you really don't know. And you had to take a leap. But I also want to encourage people who are just starting, even with you. And I talk about, this is the setup, right? Like, it took years. You've known me since 2012, right? And you wanted to work with me at a higher level in 2020, even probably before that, 2018, 2019, but you couldn't afford it, right? And you were going through other things in your life at that moment, right? But I stayed consistent. You were seeing me consistently to finally get to a level of investment at this level that you're at today, right? So you have to be consistent in your marketing, because your client's journey could be years before they hire you, right? It could be years before they hire you. So you can't just come pop on here and think you're going to blow up right away, right? Especially if you're not getting coaching, right? You get coaching, you're going to take the speedboat instead of the paddle boat, right? To get where you need to get to. But you have to understand that it's a process, and everybody wants instant success, right? And me and you have these conversations all the time because you already got a paying client, right? And you already have people inquiring to work with you now, because you're sharing your story, because you're talking about your coaching and you're talking about what you do. So people are in your inbox and people want to work with you. So, you're already getting there. But I tell you right now, right? I said, you're not going to see the financial gain right away. You're going to see the influence. You're going to see these opportunities that are going to come to you. All that stuff is going to get you the monetization and the money for your business. But you got to do this legwork. We got to do the mindset work, the clarity work, the confidence work, right? Those are the layers of building the house of successful business that people want to skip and people don't want to do. But I wanted to talk about this significantly here because it's really helped, right, with you, and makes you see like, I got to do that foundational work before I'm going to have a successful business. Did you think that that was a process, or did you think Chandra's is going to give me all her systems and I'm going to start this business?
No, I knew it was going to be a process. And it wasn't just your consistency that made me want to work with you. It was you sharing your growth through the consistency. Me seeing you upscale and up level your life and your coaching was like, okay, so if she can do it, why can't I? What makes me so much different from Chandra, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that really, really helped. But the consistency in posting, the consistency in sharing my story, the consistency in being vulnerable, you holding me accountable to what I say I'm going to do, all of that has made a difference. When I first signed with you to do this coaching, you said off the bat, you're probably not going to see money up front. Like it might take 6 months to the whole year before you start seeing money. And we're barely 2 months in and I've already signed my first client. So if you do the work, you're going to see the results. It's all about, you know, putting into action what she's sharing with you, the tools and the tips and the tricks that she shares, really putting those into action, even through fear, putting them into action. My biggest fear was when she told me to go live. I think I stopped breathing for a second. And like she said, I looked like a deer in headlights. Like I've gained weight over the past couple of years. And so that's made me very self-conscious. And I'm like, I don't have a problem being behind the camera, but now you want me to be in front of the camera? I don't know how I feel about that. So it was her constant, like, people aren't looking at you the way that you think they are. They're not noticing all your flaws the way that you notice them. Because I've learned over the years, you know, I'm definitely my own worst critic.
All of us are. Yeah.
So having, you know, having the accountability, but also the support. It's not just you pushing me saying, hey, did you do this? Or reminding me, hey, you need to do this. It's how are you doing today? What's going on in your life? Do we need to take some time to talk about this? Let's get this figured out before we get down to the work. And having that support also has made a huge difference in not just how I feel about myself, but in my ability to share.
Yeah, because people don't realize your personal life and things that you go through really can affect your growth.
Yes.
So if I'm having clients that are dealing with some personal stuff, I'm like, let's knock that out. Let's deal with this right now and figure out how to deal with it so it's not getting in the way of your elevation and the work that you're doing. And a lot of us don't do that work, and we got to do that work first or work on it at the same time. So then it doesn't put us at a halt, right? It doesn't stop us from moving forward. So it's so important to work on that personal stuff. And I always know, I can tell, and I like to share my stories and understand, like, I was you. I know, like, I could tell you're going through something, and I've been there and done that. So let me share with you how to get through this and what we can do about it, right? So it's deeper. It's many levels, like you said, even just picking out an outfit for an event or something, right? Text messaging throughout the day. That's what I'm there for. And that's what, we do together. But I'm just so proud of everything that you've done. And I'm proud of you for investing in yourself and believing in yourself, right? And understanding that you're the commodity. And this is what I like to tell a lot of amazing women that are out here, a lot of amazing women that reach out to me, want to work with me, right? They're like, I call it double dutch in my inbox. They jump in, they jump out, they jump in, and they jump out, playing double dutch in my inbox. And, you get me excited about working with you as you're playing with my emotions, and then you disappear because you get scared. You get scared because either the investment is a little higher, like, oh, I don't know. And you want guaranteed results quickly, right? You want instant success. And I'm telling you, there's never any overnight success. And the longer you take to even jump in, the longer it's going to take you to get to success, right? So you have to jump. It's extremely scary. I did it, but I know when you do it, how it pays off. If you really do it, you jump in full force, right? And you believe in yourself. And you're like, I believe in this vision so much, I'm going to put all my money on me. I'm going to bet on me this time, right? Because I know I got that idea that's going to help the world.
Here's the other thing too, like even even if you're still working through your fear and you're not entirely sure, making an investment at that level tells you, okay, if I'm investing this money, I'm going to do the work.
Yeah. You have a stake in the game. You have a major stake in the game.
Yeah, it's like when you were a kid and your parents told you, we're going out to eat. Don't be wasteful. Eat your whole plate, but take it home with you because you're going to eat it later. Like, right. You don't want to waste your money and you don't want to waste your time. And who better to invest in, or what better to invest in than yourself and your future? And that's really what it took, was me being tired of trying to do it by myself and me stepping out on fear, saying, I'm going to make this investment and I'm going to do the work because I just made this investment.
Right? It forces you. I know every time I made a big investment in coaching, I was front row. I was at every call. I was the star student. I did everything that coach told me to do because I'm like, I paid all this money. I'm going to do what he or she's told me to do because they have proven results. They did it. So obviously I'm going to listen to them and I'm going to do everything they said. And it worked, right? It worked. So, I was always because I don't know if y'all have money to waste. I don't. So every penny that I invested in myself, I did the work to make sure that I got all that full coaching that I needed. But it's scary, it's scary. And I understand that. And not everybody has the money to do stuff like this. And it could take time, right? It takes time before you have that money to invest in yourself. But if you have a big vision and a big dream, it ain't going to come for free. And if you want people to pay you thousands of dollars and you want to become a millionaire, how are you investing in yourself? Right? How are you investing? Are you investing at high levels? You want people to pay you a lot of money, but you're not willing to pay a lot of money. You got it all backwards. And you got to understand that it takes investing in yourself so you can receive it back. Right? Investing in yourself so you can receive it back, because it really makes a big difference. I'm telling you. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And I can always tell the people who invest in themselves and the people who don't. I know, there's people that started coaching like me and I skyrocketed and they're still down here because they didn't invest, right? They didn't take risk on themselves because of their confidence, right? They didn't take risks because of their confidence in themselves, right? So they're like, they didn't truly believe yet. And that's hard. I get it. It's hard because, we'll put money behind a car, a house, student loans. We'll put money, all that, but when it comes to ourselves, we won't put it behind us. Right. We won't put it behind us. So there's only a certain amount of people that are like, see the vision very clear at the end of the road. And they're like, and that was me in 2017 when I decided to go all in. I could see it already. I seen Powerhouse. I seen all the impact I was going to make on women. So I knew I just need help getting there. I don't know how to get there. I could see it, but I need the path. I need the directions on how to get there. And that's where the coaching came in, right? That's where the coaching came in. And there's only a few people that really can see it and believe it and say, I'm going to put it all in. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do what I need to do, because at the end of the day, I'm going to bet on me and I have the vision and I know that I'm going to make a big difference with this vision. So
it's funny because working with you was on my manifestation board along with other things, but it's time to take that board down. Time to create a new one. And I'm already saying, okay,
you already accomplished a lot of this stuff off that board.
Yeah, I'm going to have my first 25K month by August.
Amen. I hear you. Yes, girl. I love it. I love it. You see, like, you're not the first person that told me that I was on their manifestation board or on their goal board or their vision board, right? Because, it's a vision and I love it. I love to hear that because I want that to be your goal, but I want you to be working towards that goal. What are you doing to get there? You want to work with me, but just having a dream and talking about it ain't going to get you there. What are you really doing to get on my calendar and to work with me? Are you really doing the work to do that? And not everybody is. A lot of people are just talkers. A lot of people are talkers. Right. And we got to come out of that. If we really have a big vision for ourselves, you can't go bet on everybody else and put money into everybody else. You got to put money inside of you and invest in yourself. So Brandy, for people who are on the fence about working with me, can you tell them, if you had them in front of you, what would you say? And I'm going to also put my masterclass, because if you want to learn more about me and learn about working with me, you are going to get the link in the comments of this live, but also you can register. You can go visit on my Instagram and you can link and watch my masterclass and learn more about working with me and what I do. But Brandy, give the people a message, please.
If you're on the fence, get off of it. That's the biggest thing. Like I said, I wanted to work with Chandra for years, and it was a major investment, and it took time for me to get here and be able to make that investment, but it's the best decision that I've made for myself and my business. Having a coach, especially a business coach, when you're trying to be an entrepreneur and create your own business, it excels you. I wouldn't be where I am now after 2 months if I didn't have Chandra in my ear. She's like that Jiminy Cricket that doesn't go away. She's my conscience, like,
It doesn't go away.
Yeah, because I hear you in my head, even when you're not like on the phone or video with me, like, oh, did you do your post today? Are you following your content calendar? What progress have you done today? Have you done your write-ups? I'm constantly hearing you like in my head, reminding me to do the things that I know that I need to do.
Right.
And that's helpful. Like I need that because I don't listen to myself.
No, right. If we listen to ourselves, we would be there already.
Right.
If we listen to ourselves, right? Like a lot of people think, oh, I got this. I can do it on my own. I don't need a coach.
I couldn't.
I don't need a coach. If you didn't need a coach, you would have did that shit already. Okay.
Right. I wouldn't have had
already.
Lotus coaching.
All the greatest of greats had extra coaches in their corner. You think about the Kobe's, the LeBron James, the Oprah Winfrey's, the Jennifer Lopez, Beyond, all these people have extra coaches that they're paying. Right? They're the ones getting up earlier than everybody else. They're the ones staying after practice more than everybody else. These are people you don't remember all the basic people on there's how many, a dozen or more players on a basketball and even on a football team. I don't know. I'm not in sports like that, but there's more, right? But we only remember certain names, and I promise you remember them because they did the work to stand out of the crowd. They did the extra coaching. They got the little site. They already had their coaches, right? The coaches for their team. They paid extra to be great, right? You have to pay to play, right? And you have to invest in yourself because, like I say, you are the commodity. You are the prize. You have the vision. You just need the steps and the help to get there. So, Brandy, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for trusting me and allowing me to help you, and getting you where you are today. And I just can't wait to see where you're going to be in the next 2 months of us working together. So the link for the masterclass is in the comments, everybody. You can watch it at any time and go watch my steps to get to where you need to get to. So this is the whole process I'm taking Brandy through, and you're going to learn it in the masterclass. And then you can learn about working with me and what that is. Or if you just want to talk to me, all right? Like I said, don't come in here in my inbox playing with my emotions and going back and forth, right? Only be in my inbox if you're serious, and we can have a back and forth conversation. But everybody, thank you again for watching. Brandy, maybe this is a lot of energy for me to do these interviews. So maybe sometime this weekend, me and you will go live on Instagram.
Yes, ma'am.
And do this. But for everybody who watched, I appreciate you. Thank you. Please share this out. Share it with somebody who would be encouraged by it, right? Who's going to get motivated to go to their next level, hopefully, and understand that Brandy came from homelessness, physical abuse, and dealing with many life situations to where she is now. And if Brandy could do it, and if I could do it, then you could do it.
You can do it too.
Right?
Absolutely. And just so y'all know, I was one of those people playing double dutch in her inbox for a long time. So she's not going to completely ignore you and just you. But I suggest that if you have the opportunity to work with Chandra, take that opportunity. You will not regret it. It has been one of the best decisions I've made for my business. And she's also pretty fun. I know, she comes across as a little mean and hard sometimes, but once you start working with her, you'll see the fun side too.
Yeah. I'm not as hard as people think I am too. So, all right, Brandy. All right. Well, thank you, Brandy. Go back to your day. Go back to slaying all your goals and doing what you need to do. Anybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you all later. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for having me.
All right, honey. See you later.
Bye.